Jeff. So I would love to know what happens when a party of a lawsuit dies.
Sure, be happy to answer that. These questions and the answers to these questions can become very complicated. So, the first thing I would tell you is it is very important to reach out to an experienced personal injury attorney who has handled wrongful death cases because there are very special rules and laws that apply to wrongful death cases. For example, if you are a plaintiff, if you are the person who has been injured or died as a result, and your family and relatives will have claims under Florida's wrongful death statute. And that statute very specifically spells out what each survivor is entitled to recover when a family member dies. So you need somebody who's experienced with the wrongful death statute and pursuing wrongful death claims. Um, and another reason for that is because there can often be, and I see this happen very regularly, where family members have strained relationships. And for example, the surviving spouse may not get along with one of the children, or a brother and a sister might be fighting and may not get along with each other. And when there's a wrongful death of a family member, um, sometimes there can be jockeying for position, and one spouse or one sibling wanting to get more money than another. Sometimes a brother will go hire an attorney, and then the sister will go hire another attorney, and then the surviving spouse will have yet another attorney. So these things can get very complicated, and it's very important that you call an experienced wrongful death attorney so that you can find out what your rights are as one of the survivors when a family member dies. The other thing that's important, and that sometimes comes up, is let's say you get in an accident and somebody runs a red light and they hit you and you suffered serious injuries, but the person who ran the red light dies. What do you do? Well, fortunately, Florida law states that a lawsuit or a claim does not uh, fail simply because one of the parties dies. What you have to do is set up an estate for the person who died. If they have not set up their own estate through their own family, then you would actually have to hire an attorney to set up an estate for the defendant so that you can file a lawsuit. You can't file a lawsuit against somebody who is dead because there's no way to serve them. The only way to do that is by setting up an actual estate in the county where the person died and pursuing a claim against the estate. So whether you're a plaintiff whose family member has died, in that case, you would need to set up an estate for the decedent so that you can pursue a lawsuit. And if the defendant has died, you would need to set up an estate so that you can actually sue an entity for the negligence of the person who died. So that's just a very brief overview of what can happen when there's a wrongful death claim. Again, I encourage you, it's extremely important to contact an attorney who is experienced in wrongful death claims.